Hello everyone. In today's video, I'll start discussing the chapter The Northern Mountains and the Northern Plains. In today's video, I'll mostly talk about the Northern Mountains, and in my next video, I'll talk about the Northern Plains. Now before I start discussing the Northern Mountains, I'll quickly discuss about the different landforms that we can see in our country, India. In our previous chapter, we have learned about the 6 different landforms that we can see in India. We have first of all the mountainous region, the Himalayan range or the mountainous region. We have the northern plains. We have Deccan Plateau, Great Indian Desert, coastal region and islands. In this chapter, as I have already told you, we'll talk about the northern mountains and the northern plains, and in today's video I'll talk about the northern plains. This blue region, it is the mountainous region, it is the hilly region, so this is called the northern mountains. Now what are mountains? First of all, what are mountains? So mountains are areas of land that have risen high above the surrounding area. So these are elevated pieces of lands. These have risen above the surrounding areas, risen above the plains or plateaus, you can say. Now this mountainous region have a very cool climate. Why? Because temperature falls with height. During summer vacation, most of you go to hill stations. Why? Because hill stations are obviously hilly regions, so temperature there is low in comparison to plains and plateaus. So temperature decreases with height. These mountains, as you can see, are covered with snow. So in case of very high mountains, the peaks of the mountains, the upper part of it, the peaks of the mountains are covered with snow. Reason is the same. Because of height, the temperature drops and the mountains are so high that the upper part of the mountains, which are called peaks, these are covered with snow. Now talking about the northern mountains in India, these northern mountains form a natural boundary. Here is a picture. So this is my northern mountains. Here we have the Great Himalayas or the Himalayas. So these Himalayas or the northern mountains, they are kind of a boundary for our country. This is a natural boundary to the north of the country which separates our country from China. This is China and this is India. And this range of mountains is separating our country from China. It is acting like a border, it is acting like a boundary. Just the way you people have boundary walls. So this is kind of a boundary wall, you can say, which is protecting our country from enemy attacks. Now this range of mountains, it includes Mount Everest, it includes Karakoram and some other hill ranges in the northeast. So when it is a range of mountains, it means a long chain of mountains. There are many mountains which are found here. In fact, Mount Everest is also found here. Though Mount Everest is not in India, it is in part of China and Nepal. But we have Karakoram here and we have some other mountains, many other mountains in this region. Talking about the Himalayas, I would say, the word Himalaya, it comes from the Sanskrit word which means abode of ice. Now, why abode of ice? Abode means home, you can say. Why is it abode of ice? Because as I have already told you that these mountains, they are covered with snow, and you can also find many glaciers. Glaciers are rivers of ice, you can see. Many glaciers have their source in this northern Himalayas. In fact, the glacier Gangotri is also found in the Himalayas. The river Ganga originates from the glacier Gangotri. So there are many such glaciers which are found in the Himalayas, and that is why it is called the abode of ice. Now, some of the highest peaks in the world like Mount Everest and Kanchenjunga are also in the Himalayas. Though I have told you that Mount Everest does not fall in India, it falls in part of Nepal and China. Now, talking about this range of mountains, the Himalayas are divided into 3 parallel ranges, 1, 2 and 3. 3 parallel ranges. Okay, and each range has a name. We have the Greater Himalayas, the first one. Then we have the Middle or Lesser Himalayas, also called Himachal. And then we have the Outer Himalayas, also known as Shivaliks. Now, talking about the Greater Himalayas, this one, the first one, it has an average, its height, I would say, is an average of 6,000 meter. It is also called Himadri, and it is the highest range in the Himalayas. It is the highest range, students, and Mount Everest is also found in this particular region. Now, talking about the second one, this one, the Middle or Lesser Himalayas, it is also known as Himachal. It lies to the south of Himadri. It lies to the south of the first one, south of Himadri. And the average height of this range, it varies from 3,700 to 4,500 meter. Now, talking about the third one, it is known as the Outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. The average height here is from 900 to 1200 meter. Okay, these are the 3 parallel ranges of the Himalayas. Now, let's talk about each range in detail. Starting with the first one, starting with the Greater Himalayas. So this is again a picture given in your book. So this is the hilly region, the Himalayan mountains. Now let's talk about the Outer Himalayas. The first one. Sorry, the Greater Himalayas, not the outer one. The Greater Himalayas or Himadri. Now, as it is the highest range of mountain, so the temperature here is very low. It is the highest range of mountains, so the temperature here is very low, and the peaks remain covered with snow throughout the year. Throughout the year, the peaks of these mountains, they remain covered with snow. Apart from Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Nanda Devi and Nanga Parbat are the highest peaks of the Greater Himalayas. Now these regions, as they are covered with snow and the temperature is very low in these regions, so vegetation is not possible here. You cannot grow crops in these regions, and as vegetation or cultivation is not possible in this region, so human settlement is also not possible in the Greater Himalayas. You will not find people settling down in this range of mountains. Okay, human settlement is not possible here because of the extreme temperature and also because cultivation is not possible in this region. Now talking about the middle or lesser Himalayas. The second one, middle or lesser Himalayas, also known as Himachal. As the mountains in this range are not as high as the greater Himalayas, so the temperature is also not that low. Here the peaks are not always covered with snow. The temperature is not that low in comparison to the first one. Okay. This range has cold winters and mild summer. In fact, many hill stations are here which we frequently visit during summer vacations because the summers have a very mild temperature, mild climate, so we like to visit these places. These places are good for human settlement. In fact, you will find many trees here. Trees like pine, oak, fir, etc. are found in this region. Many fruit orchards are also found here. Fruit orchards means fruit gardens, you can say. Tea plantation is also done here, and it is good for human settlement as well. One more thing that I would like to mention here is terrace farming, which is practiced in this region. Now, what is terrace farming? This is it. This is called terrace farming. Terrace farming is where the farming is practiced on slopes that are cut into steps. So it is a slope. Basically, it is a part of a mountain. Now, if we don't cut this into steps, how to sow the seeds, how to grow the plants? So plantation cannot be done on slopes. So they cut it into steps and then they do the plantation here on the steps. Now, as I have already told you that many hill stations like Mussoorie, Shimla, Nainital, Darjeeling, etc. are located in this region, in the middle Himalayas. As it is a mountainous region, so there are many valleys also. You will find many valleys here. Now, what are valleys? This one. The space which you can see between two mountains is called a valley. So it is a U-shaped or a flat land. It can be U-shaped or a flat land in between two mountains. So this space is called a valley. Okay. So many valleys are found in this mountain range. And these valleys are connected with each other through mountain pass. Now, what is a mountain pass? Here it is. This one. This is a mountain pass. A path, I would say, cut out to connect the valleys. So you can see how the path is cut out, is carved out here on the mountain to connect the valleys. So this is called a pass. P-A-S-S. This is called a pass. Now coming to the lower Himalayas. So the lower Himalaya is also known as Shivalik or the outer Himalayas. It is in the southernmost range of the Himalayas, the southernmost one. And this range has some special valleys. We know what valleys are. The land between two mountains. The U-shaped or flat land between two mountains is called a valley. There are many valleys which exist here in this region. We have Dehradun, we have Patli Dun, we have Kotli Dun, we have Pinjore Dun. So there are many valleys that exist in this part of the Himalayas, in the lower Himalayas. The hills in this region are covered with dense forest. Now, as we are moving towards the plains, now, so the region is covered with dense forest here. Many trees are found here, and cattle rearing is common in this place. Cattle rearing, because for cattle rearing you need a land that is covered with grass, I would say. So this is cattle rearing. You can see sheep and cattle here. So look at the area. It is a hilly region, basically covered with grass. So you will find many trees, and because of this green cover, sheep rearing or cattle rearing is common in this particular region. Many crops are also grown here, like potato and maize, and many wild animals are also found in this particular region. Okay. Now, as we know that when the mountains end, the plains start. Look at this one. When the northern mountain ends, then the northern plains start. Now, in between this mountain and plain, there is a region which is called a terai. Let me show you a picture of that. This one. Here we have the mountain ranges. This brown one, yellow one, and the green ones. These are the mountain ranges. Now this sky blue part. So this part, it is called a terai. It is in between plains, and this white part is the plains, northern plains. So in between the mountains and the plains, you see this region which is called terai. Now what's special about this particular region? What's special about this particular region? As we know that when the mountains end and the plains start, we have this particular region. Now this is a marshy land. It is a marshy land, means a wet land called terai. And this is special because we can grow crops in this region. It is very good for cultivating. So this is called terai, and it is in between the mountains and the plains. Now coming to the importance of the Himalayas. Why are these important? Why do you think the mountainous region or the Himalayas are important? Now first of all, we know that the Himalayas, it acts as a natural border. So here is a picture. It acts as a natural border. It protects our country from enemy attack as well. It is a barrier. It also protects our country from the cold winds of the north. It protects our country from the cold wind that comes from the northern side. It is also a reason behind the heavy rainfall during the monsoon season. Now, during the monsoon season, the northern part of the country, it attains heavy rainfall. Why? Because of the moisture-laden wind which comes from the Arabian Sea. It hits the mountains here. The wind, the moisture-laden wind hits the mountain here, and because of it, heavy rainfall occurs in this particular region of the country. Another important point is that many rivers are found here in the Himalaya. We have the Ganga, Yamuna, and many rivers have their origin here in the Himalayas. As we know, Ganga originates from the glacier Gangotri. So there are other rivers as well. We also find wood, medicines, and fodder and many things from the Himalayas. And many animals also live in the forest of the Himalayas. Now let's quickly talk about the life in the Himalayan region. How do people live there? So there are many regions like Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh, which are situated in the Himalayas. Now all these places have a comparatively low temperature. If you go to Jammu Kashmir, if you go to Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim or Arunachal Pradesh, you will see that these places are not that hot in comparison to the plains or to the plateau. They have comparatively low temperature because of the height. And most of the people living in these places are engaged in sheep rearing. I have already shown you one picture. So this is how people living there are engaged in sheep rearing. If you go to Jammu and Kashmir, you will easily see people, Ladakh, you will see people engaged in sheep rearing. They also grow a few crops and they also grow fruits. Like again, if I talk about Kashmir, Kashmiri apples are the famous fruits, I would say, is a famous fruit. Now many people are also part of cottage industry there. Now what is cottage industry? Cottage industry is basically a small scale industry. You will not find big factories there in these regions like Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh and all. Most of the people practice this carving wood or weaving carpets or making woolens. So here is a picture where you can see two ladies. They are weaving carpet, and this is not done in a factory. They are most probably doing this at their home, or they kind of set up a small farm and they practice cottage industry in these parts of the country. So this is all about the northern Himalayas. In my next class, I'll talk about the northern plains.